Why is it you're playing so well at the Grand Slams?
Because I enjoy to play in the big stadium. Maybe now with 32 years old, I'm starting to enjoy.
You love the crowd. Thanks a lot, Flavia, and have a good one in the next round.
Thanks.
So Flavia Pennetta, the first woman through to the quarterfinals, awaiting the winner of that Lina Katerina Makarova match. It's still 3-1 to Lina. A long juice game in progress on the Makarova serve.
Sarah is age 10 and she's taking part in the Super 10s.
Here's confirmation then of the second fourth round match of the day on the Rod Laver Arena. I'm David Mercer alongside Joe Jury. I think, Joe, we're both mentally exhausted after that seesaw first match.
Yeah, I mean, such tension we saw out there, but, you know, great battling qualities from both of them, and it is nerve-wracking when you want so desperately to get to a quarter-final of a Grand Slam. I mean, there's a lot of money and a lot of points up.
What was the first time you... I know you made two semi-finals, of course. Can you remember the first time you made a quarter-final of a major?
Must have been the French. Yeah, that's right.
Who did you beat in the fourth round?
Fourth round I beat Kathy Rinaldi.
Oh, yeah. Easily, or was it a real nail-biter?
It was quite close, yes. Yeah.
Serena Williams, a picture in pink, of course, now has more wins at the Australian Open or the Australian Championship, 61, than anybody else. Margaret Court, 60. Some people were thinking that, well, Margaret must have won more than that over the years, but in fact, she was 21-1 in the Open era, Margaret. So there's other victories. 39 of them all came before Open tennis began in 1968. And taking on a woman who she has beaten 4 times out of 4, each time in straight sets. Anna Ivanovic has never got more than 4 games in a set. Marija Cicak from Croatia, the umpire for this
Ladies,
one.
welcome. Before we start with Sarah and Quintos, we have Hawkeye on this court. Just make request to challenge in timely manner. And that's it. All the other things are the same. If you need anything, something's wrong, let me know, all right? Anna, heads, tails, Sarah.
Young Sarah spinning
Serena,
the coin.
your choice. Sarah?
Serena wins the spin of the coin.
Facing their way. Yeah.
And will serve.
Not a bad photo for show and tell when you go back to school, Sarah. Well done.
Certainly is. Great moment for that young lady. Every time Serena goes onto the court, Joe, she's the red-hot favourite, but then we remember, certainly not red-hot today, still only 20 degrees. It's expected to get up to 23. I actually put a sweater on to come across this morning. I mean, it's such a change, isn't it, from just a few days ago when, frankly, it was just an effort to walk across, drag yourself across in the heat. But she's such an overwhelming favourite, but we all know that every now and again things go wrong, as they did at this stage at Wimbledon against Sabine Lisicki.
Yeah, more because I think Serena gets herself into a bit of a state and wants to play so well, and she can't quite handle herself, I think. But, you know, Anna's playing very well at the moment. I just wonder if her serve is going to stand up to this.
Lives in Basel, of course, the hometown of Roger Federer, because one of her financial backers is based there. No title won last year, the runner-up in Linz, but steady performances. And, of course, has already won a title this year, beating a Williams in the final, albeit it was Venus, not Serena. Her best result here at the Australian Open, reaching the final in 2008, and lost to Maria Sharapova. A little bit of strapping on the right thigh. That kinesiology tape that's supposed to keep the muscles warm. And she's got to start fast, hasn't she, and put the pressure on Serena, because, as you were saying, if someone can stay with Serena, even better get ahead of Serena, then sometimes the panic button is struck.
Well, that's the thing, you know, if you can't stay sort of close in the score line with Serena, then you are in big trouble. So absolutely imperative for Anna to get herself going. But Williams wanted to serve first, and at least Anna can have a swing at a few of the returns and get herself going that way.
A remarkable year last year, just the 4 losses, 11 tournaments, won a record. Look at that prize money in a year. Over $12 million. You slog your guts out for an entire career, and I know you got over the $1 million career earnings.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
They really have, yeah. They, you know, in the time, though, I was earning some good money, so I'm not complaining.
5 times the champion, but of course the surprise loss last year in the quarterfinals to fellow African American Sloane Stephens, who's still very much in the draw. But surely the one thing for Serena to achieve that she hasn't achieved in her remarkable career would be a single year slam of all 4 majors. She's held all 4 majors at the same time, but fuddy-duddies like me who like our tradition say you only win the Grand Slam if you win all 4 of them in the same year.
Yeah, because you know the beginning of the year comes round and you have to start at the Australian, and then you have to win them in a row like that. If you sort of start mid-year,
yeah,
I mean, the pressure isn't the same. So I think she could achieve it this year, absolutely. Serena is looking by far the best player out on the tour. So, you know, who can play well enough to cause her problems? We've seen, of course, Victoria Azarenka last year in 2 finals managed to beat her in 2 very close matches. So, yes, it's possible, but you feel that Serena has to be less than her best, and the players she plays have to be absolutely at their best.
Winner of this match will play the winner of this evening's match between the last Australian in the singles, Casey Delacroix, and the young Canadian 19-year-old Eugenie Bouchard, who certainly everybody you chat to thinks could be a huge star in the future. If she doesn't make top 10, I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be at all surprised if she makes top 5. And who knows where she can go from there. But that's all coming up this evening, of course. Let's bring you up to date. Lina still has a break against Katerina Makarova. The score's moved on from 3-1 to 4-2. Those last nervous moments. She wearing the jacket, sort of, we love Anna, yeah, a lot of people do. It was for a time, the love in her life was an Australian, Adam Scott, the golfer, the current Masters champion. That fizzled out a little while ago.
Well, you know, Anna's saying she's very, very happy at the moment with the coaching team and the setup she's got. Feels very relaxed and confident, and I think you can see it in the way she is on court. She does seem to be enjoying her tennis a whole lot more, because for a couple of years it really wasn't a good watch.
Yeah.
And you just felt for her so much, having got to the #1 in the world and won a Grand Slam, and felt the pressure so much. So yeah, it's much better at the moment for Anna, and it's nice to see her enjoying herself.
Yeah, her new coach is Nemanja Kontic. Whenever I can come up with that Christian name, I'm tempted to say Vidic,
yes,
after the Manchester United central defender, of course. But it's Kontic, and he's almost as emotional in the stands as she is on the court.
But, you know, they're Serbians, so I guess, that, you know, a good understanding of emotions and, you know, what makes Anna tick, really, because it does change over the years, from being such a good 16-year-old, and, you know, 2008 was her year of winning Roland Garros and being #1. That's quite a few years ago now, and you do change. She says she's more mature and more confident now.
The #1 seed, the world #1, Serena Williams, coming out to do 4th round battle with the former world #1, the former French Open champion, Anna Ivanovic, in the Rod Laver Arena, playing for a place in the quarterfinals. Williams serving.
Ready. Play.
Not an ideal time for a helicopter to go overhead. An ideal way to start, not though.
Well, what an easy ace. Serena has been serving extremely well. I think that's a 27 ace of the tournament. That's just so good, those first 2 points.
With no apparent effort at all.
No. Well, people have been talking that Serena's had just a slightly bad back this week, and she's had some treatment on it. She looks pretty good so far today.
That's a nice riposte from Ivanovic. A nice change for Williams having back problems here, because normally it's ankle problems that have really afflicted her in Australia. Mind you, she has won the title 5 times, for heaven's sake.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's super from Ivanovic, moving forward so nicely.
Well, she can actually get hold of a couple of these returns and use that pace that comes off the court from the serve.
Well, that took everyone, especially Serena, by surprise. Break point, Ivanovic.
That's the most extraordinary shot. I thought she was just going to hit an ordinary slice. It came right across it. You can see by the angle of the racket, that was so well disguised.
Yes.
Serena's response is to come up with a bigger serve. 181 Ks, that's 112 miles an hour. The ankle's well strapped this year.
Yeah, I like those ankle straps, you know, to match up with her dress, because normally they're just black and they don't look very elegant on the ladies.
So an ace and a double in the opening game. Second break point.
Yes.
You've just got to have such fast reactions against Serena. The ball comes back much faster, really, than most players out there.
Aye, aye, aye.
Advantage, Ivanovic.
So important, you feel, for Ivanovic to break now. Just to get the psychological advantage right at the start.
Half a chance there, you felt, for Anna, for the break into the rally. Yeah, good concentration from Williams. You can never take those shots for granted.
Close again. Serena Williams escapes, having been a break point down 3 times, and manages to hold in the end. Well, don't forget, of course, Eurosport Player gives you access to all the televised courts. There are singles matches on 3 courts today. As we mentioned, Li Na and Katerina Makarova on the high set. Serena later today. Thomas Burdick and Kevin Anderson play on the Margaret Court Arena. So, Eurosport Player, you can get access to those courts. If you're not at home, or your tablet or smartphone or whatever. Tell you that Li Na has the first set against Makarova, 6-2.
Quickly, 2 errors. It's you know, service game comes around very quickly. Having chances to break. Again, Williams on the hunt with her returning. Well, I think we're going to be seeing a few more of those efforts on the second serve.
You need a porter to carry your bags onto court these days.
It's just a most amazing ball toss. I'll say it again from Anna, how she can get that one to go into court, but she manages it. And that ball toss much better, a little bit more over her head, and then you've got the option of down the tee or wide.
Good hold by Ivanovic this time from love 30.
Well, she's certainly got the timing. You know, if she can actually get to the balls, then she'll be in these rallies with Serena. It's a real sense from Anna that there is the belief in herself at the moment, and yet really felt, you know, in years gone by, it's been a little false. It's been a sort of bravado that's got her out on the court. But now, you know, it's as though she really belongs again. And centre court like this, playing against the #1 in the world.
Oh, my. Well, just goes to show it always pays to get one more ball back, even against the very best.
Oh, just completely lost focus, Williams. How extraordinary after opening up the court.
That's a real opportunity wasted. Of course, there's no burden of expectation on Ivanovic coming into this match. Only herself, her support group, and her most ardent fans expect her to win it. The first fairly straightforward service game of the match goes to Serena Williams. We're on serve at the start of the match, and after 13 minutes of play, Williams leads 2-1.
How can a car's design make driving feel like this? Start by making it lighter. Reduce the size of the wheel. Raise the instruments to help keep your eyes on the road. And declutter to make the surface of the road feel as close as possible to the hair on your skin. Voila. New Peugeot 308. Driving sensations.
Australian Open was always the Grand Slam that you can look for some underdogs.
Comes down to who was willing to put the hours in over Christmas and come out firing.
If they've changed something in their game, the Australian Open is where you're going to see it.
Makes it slightly more unpredictable. You haven't had recent form to take into account.
Some top guys are not ready, so always somebody sneaks in.
I don't think it's very realistic to back an outsider.
It's worth looking at the early rounds to see who is the form player. You can really take great advantage.
Get a 100% deposit bonus with Unibet.
Serena Williams leads 2-1 then. First set against Anna Ivanovic, the second fourth-round match of the day in the Rod Laver Arena. Flavia Pennetta winning a seesaw match with Angelique Kerber in the first. And over on the high-sense arena, looks like Linar is on her way. She's 6-2, 2 love up on Katerina Makarova. There's always a lot of people come in after the third game. They don't realise that you can't come in after the first. The taller of the two at 1m83, 6'1", compared with 5'10", 178. Oof, that's a very late overall by Marija Cicek. So no surprise that Ivanovic will challenge this one.
Well, Serena's not budging. She thinks it's in as well. Yeah, Anna's not impressed because she had the easiest of shots.
And I'm very surprised that any umpire tries to overrule on the centre service line, because I can tell you that your eyes are following the ball and you can't keep up. It's been scientifically proved that's why the service line judge doesn't follow the ball. They watch the line and the ball crossing the line.
Just don't know how that ball got over the net.
Terrific play from Ivanovic, although she'd make life a little easier for herself if after some of these raking ground strokes she'd move forward.
Really amazing, you know, 3 shots in a row to the full extent that she can hit it, because Serena's so good at defending. Well, there's been a couple around the net area now, and there's that hand gesture that Serena does, calm herself down. A couple of times she's absolutely set the point up and should have finished.
So unfortunately that wrong overrule didn't influence the outcome of the game.
Well, good stuff so far from Anna. She's doing exactly what we said, Dave. She's staying with Serena, 2-all. That's all you can do. Try and stick with her and see what happens.
15.
Very confident looking Anna Ivanovic we're seeing today. Just the way she's kind of walking around the court between points.
Well, great defence from Serena. Kept her in the point. But Ivanovic not to be denied.
Oh, I thought she'd done it all wrong there because I thought she needed to smash, but took her time, very patient. There's the belief again.
Two all 30 all. Both women have won 16 points.
Oh, that was unexpected.
Right into the junction. At full stretch. Serena covering it and then getting that horrible feeling. Oh my word, that's landed plumb on the lines. It's another break point. And this time Ivanovic gets the break. And it's she who moves ahead. 3-2. Now Williams being tested.
Mind is watch.
Great Britain are back amongst the big boys.
Big names on the big stage as Great Britain are welcomed back to the World Elite by the USA in a sensational first-round encounter.
Wow! It's getting better and better from Andy Murray.
And France host Australia.
What a win! What a couple of days!
The Davis Cup starts Friday the 31st of January, live on British Eurosport 2 HD.
Complete sports coverage of the major stories and results with Eurosport Action on demand. All online at yahoo.eurosport.com.
Was all this legal? Absolutely not.
The Wolf of Wall Street, in cinemas now.
A moment of disappointment for Serena Williams, dropping her serve.
Yes, well, a few mistakes already today from Serena. She's helping Anna along, who's started beautifully.
10 unforced errors from Serena. That's interesting. Ivanovic winning 83% of the points behind her first serve. Just good enough. When she hit it, I thought it might not be.
I thought it was a bit too much air underneath the ball, but good decision. But I think Serena is rather irritated about losing her serve, and I think she's going to come out with everything firing. Look down the court from Serena there.
Had love 30 in Ivanovic's opening service game, but lost the next 4 points. Yeah, a very determined world number one. 3 points to break back immediately.
Game Williams. Three games over.
The breakback secured to love.
Well, no surprise really that Serena came storming back there. This next game we might see her just up her service speed as well, maybe.
That's fighting fire with fire. We're really taking on the Williams serve. So far up the court.
Yeah, it's wonderful the way she rotates into it. Eye on the ball.
Again, just enough on that little angle volley.
And I really think that the last year or so that Serena's improved her volleying. Amazingly, the feel on it for something like that.
Challenging, but not with a great deal of conviction. And one thing's for sure, Marija Cicek won't be overruling on the centre service line again in this match.
I don't think so. Yeah, I thought it was good.
40-15. Ivanovic has 2 challenges remaining.
Second ace. Read the serve, was sitting there waiting for it.
40-30.
Yeah, short take back. It's a simple shot.
Game Williams. New balls, please.
Williams responds to falling behind to win the next 2 games. 4-3 now to Serena Williams.
Well, I'm, just trying to watch Serena, see if there's any signs of this sort of back problem we've been hearing about. And it just maybe the serving isn't quite as fluid as we've seen so far, because I think against Tantakova in the previous round, when it was very, very hot, and she, you know, did look as though the heat was getting to her a bit. It was the serve that really held her in good stead. And today there's maybe not quite the speed on it, but otherwise I think she's moving very well, Serena.
Couple of little bits to tell you. Lina currently has, in fact, she's taken them. She had 3 match points. She's beaten Ekaterina Makarova 6-2. 6-love. I'll show you how she completed the win very shortly. And Dominic Inlock, the last British man in the men's doubles, is on court. 3-all in the first set with Tread Hui. Break of serve each then. Half an hour gone. New balls in play. Ivanovic to serve at 3-4.
Yeah, nice serve. The ball just chasing into the body. That's enough room to swing there. Well, Serena knew what she wanted to do with the lob, but obviously couldn't. It was an unleashed forehand, though, this one here from Ivanovic. Just really sped off the court.
Yeah, I think even I could have managed to put that smash away.
Can't believe she didn't catch that ball toss.
Looking like a rat-a-tat-tat exchange at the net. It's a love game for Ivanovic. For all, let's quickly hand you back to Jonathan, who can confirm the result of that Lina Makarova match.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. It is victory for the 5th straight time for Lina over Katerina Makarova. Victory coming in under an hour, 59 minutes it took her. 6-2, 6-love. And the second time she's beaten Makarova in straight sets. But she moves through into the quarterfinals, where she's going to take on Flavia Pennetta. Back to you, David.
Those two, of course, were both semi-finalists at the US Open, when 3 of the 4 were over 30.
Some extreme hitting from these two. Just took that a little late within the swing, and that's why it went off at an angle. Oh. Looked like a bad bounce.
Anna's parents.
15.
You don't get bad bounces. Did it skid off the line, I wonder?
I think so.
Yeah, those are Anna's parents. Miroslav and Dragana.
Thirty, 15.
Three aces now for Serena. And also three double faults.
Game, Williams.
So ace, double fault, ace. Ivanovic didn't have much to do with those last 3 points.
Williams leads 5 games to 4.
Williams back in front, 5-4 in the first set.
By this watch. This watch has witnessed the magic of Melbourne.
Hello. Can I see your passports, please? Just the one bag to check in? Yes.
Is the flight full?
It's quite full today.
Thank you.
Like getting your money's worth? Try the £1.9 sweet chili mayo chicken or the £1.49 chicken BLC. New to the Saver menu.
Space for 7. Top Gear Magazine's Family Car of the Year. The new Citroën Grand C4 Picasso.
Citroën, créative technologie.
Serena Williams has never conceded 5 games in a set against Anna Ivanovic. She would love to maintain that record. The wins, 4 of them have been 6-2, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, 6-1, 6-3.
Yeah, but you absolutely know here's the pressure at 5-4 for Anna to serve. And that was a very solid first serve.
And she needs them. Only got 50% of first serves in so far. Williams, in contrast, 66% of first serves. Oh dear.
Just hesitated before she swung. Maybe didn't know which way to go.
We are hearing quite a lot of interference on our line, the sort we get from mobile phones. I assure you it's neither of us. I just hope you're not hearing it back home.
30-15.
Making life hard for herself. That's a couple of unforced errors. It's all about scoreboard pressure. Played.
Yeah, held a nerve there. She really had to scoot round the backhand side, and then, you know, you've got to hit a winner from here, otherwise you're so open. And you're never sure with Williams the way she can move.
Yes.
This is where you have to have a very clear idea of where you want the first serve to go.
Williams.
A little snatchy on that backhand. Another unforced error. And it's set point Williams. That wasn't cleanly hit. It sounded horrid. It might have got a bit of frame, but it doesn't matter. It went in.
No, I think that, you know, started with a good serve as well, and then just kept the pressure on. She absolutely made her mind up. I was coming in after. Or maybe just jumped a little soon, but came off.
Wow. That serve nearly got Serena on the full. Yeah, dropped the ball a little short, and Serena said, "Thank you very much. I can attack that." Oh dear. Self-inflicted wounds, I'm afraid, from Ivanovic. Far too many unforced errors in that game. And Serena Williams wraps up the opening set. 6 games to 4 in 43 minutes of play.
Before you store memories, you need memories to store. Designed for those who like to explore all the twists and turns and hidden back routes that life has to offer. Discover a crossover which is both beautiful and practical. The all-new Renault Captur. Designed for life, inspired by the same. The adventurous Renault Captur, the 100% electric Zoe, and the seductive Renault Clio. Book a test drive today.
The Wolf of Wall Street, they call me. Look.
Your hair looks good.
In cinemas now.
Some highlights of that opening set, which just got away from Ivanovic in that last game, Joe.
Oh, it was just such a shame. You could feel it coming, really. The start of that, you knew the pressure was on. And, you know, the first point was pretty good, but then, you know, as that game went on, you just felt that, you know, Serena is so confident at that stage of a match. She's going to turn it on. And Anna, a couple of times, sort of outthought herself, second-guessed herself, as it were, where to hit the ball. And that's not a great gesture over to her supporters.
No, they didn't dump the forehand in the bottom of the net. Second set then, Williams will serve.
I think we just saw the stats between as they were sitting down, and I mean the good thing for Ivanovic, 14 winners to Serena's 10 winners, but of course just a couple more unforced errors, and they happened in that last game.
Chalk up an unforced error there for Serena. Cranking up the serve, 191 Ks, that's very nearly 119 miles an hour, 118.7 to be precise. That's a lovely volley.
Yeah, cuts them off beautifully when she comes to the net, gets that nice angle.
And again, real enterprise from Ivanovic.
Well, that's when she should be doing the thumbs up signal to her camp. Very good tactic.
Come to the net 8 times and won 6 of those 8 points.
Yes.
There was a real chance. And you think back to the opening game of the first set when she had 3 break points and wasn't able to break.
advantage, Williams.
Very deceptive. It doesn't sound as though it's been hit that well, but the court takes that spin.
Yeah, Williams.
Again, Williams holds from breakpoint down
First game, second set.
at the start of a set. Some good British news in the men's doubles. Dominic Inglot and Trey Hui. Trey Hui have won the first set 6-4 against Bapana and Qureshi, but then I remember that Ross Hutchins and Colin Fleming won the first set against them in the last round and ended up losing, so we won't count any chickens just yet. But obviously better to be a set up than a set down.
Yes, it's good news. Has to play the fine margins, though, Ivanovic coming in after, but she knows the approach has got to be so good.
Well, the net court did a real favour there because the ball sat up invitingly as a result of it.
15.
Yeah, he just felt that was one of the points that Serena was sure to win. She was so in control. Wow. It's one of the hardest hit shots today.
30, 15.
Yeah, it really took Serena by surprise too. I could say almost that you know, when she won a Grand Slam at Roland Garros 08, this is how she was hitting the ball off her forehand then.
Let's 7-7. Game Ivanovic. One game on.
Well, this is about the time usually in matches where Serena starts to get a little mad with herself if she doesn't pull away in the second set. So we'll see how she reacts in this game coming up.
A better ball toss on that occasion, didn't have to go chasing after the ball.
Yeah, Serena urging herself on.
15.
Much prefers it, Serena, of course, when she's the one that's in charge of the match. At the moment, Anna is having her say. Again, a very composed serve. It's definitely not at full power today, but powerful enough.
It's still faster than anything that Anna's served at all today. Love service game for Williams.
Williams leads 2-1.
And she's leading 2-1 on serve, second set.
Only snooker royalty get an invitation to the Palace. So don't miss the top 16 players in the world battle it out for the prestigious Masters crown. The Masters from Alexandra Palace. Today, 1:30 p.m, live on British Eurosport 2 HD.
It's just like looking for a needle in a haystack, searching for a moonbeam in the blue. Still I've got to find you. It's just like looking for a needle in a haystack. Still I'll follow every little clue, for I've got to find you.
2-1 on serve. It's 2-1 on serve in the doubles. Rapana and Qureshi up against Hui and Englot. 2-1 to Rapana and Qureshi on serve in the second set. First set to Hui and Englot 6-4. Keep you posted on that one. Quite a few Brits playing, incidentally, in the mixed doubles, which is just about underway. They played a couple of matches yesterday. Aha! First outward signs of the frustration that begins to bubble up.
Yeah, this is just when she would like to get a break, move things on.
She's played that little slice quite a few times now.
I think it's really good movement with the body into it as well. It's, yeah, beautiful shape into the shot.
It's the programme of the championships, setting out the leading contenders, of course.
Serves work very well today because it curves into Serena's body, catches her, you know, the racket's on her left hip here. It's just jammed in. Yeah, it really doesn't look as though that ball's going to go that fast, does it, from Serena? She's so calm when she plays her shots and yet hits them so hard.
You and I both try and hack around a golf course, Joe, and in that sense, Serena reminds me a bit of Ernie Els, who has such a low, slow, languid swing, and yet hits the ball a country mile. Did remarkably well to improvise, because I thought the ball was much too close to her.
Well, me too. I thought, what on earth are you going to do with this? And it just hits a winner.
The ace is flowing steadily now. 7 in the match, 3 in the set already.
Oh, Serena had a long look at that. It did look as though it was going out, but no call.
And no challenge, and you can't do anything about it now, of course.
Ivanovic has shown the fall on the left service line, the ball's called in.
Yeah, caught the back edge.
Ivanovic has 2 challenges remaining.
2 aces already in this game. And that was the fastest serve of the match, 194, 120 miles an hour.
Oh. Well, there you go. There's not 1 inch moved by Williams, because that was just pure timing.
Of course, Ivanovic broke in the 5th game of the first set. The opportunity to repeat.
Yes.
Yeah, very pleased with that second serve. Because Ivanovic was going to be all over it if it had been any shorter. It's a bit of an awkward move, really, for Serena to try and get on that.
Advantage, Ivanovic.
Second break point then. Whoa, got away with it. Should have put the volley away. History does repeat itself. She does break again in the fifth game. Can she hang on to the break? Last time Williams broke back to love.
Ivanovic leads 3-2.
Yes, that was strange both ways, wasn't it, really? I think, yes, she's done exactly the right things. Split step, balance, but just overswings a bit on the volley, and then you think, for sure, Serena's going to make the pass. What a gap. But, again, you know, if you break Serena, you've got to be ready the very next game that you serve, because she is going to be on the hunt for you.
That was her reaction to missing that. Nothing's easy, but comparatively easy pass. Patrick Mouratoglou, her boyfriend and coach, just behind and at the end of the line were Sasha Bejan, her hitting partner, and that again, of course, Anna's parents.
Time.
They're underway on the high-sense arena between Florian Mayer of Germany and David Ferrer, and it's Mayer who's got an early break there. He's leading 2-1 and serving 3-all in the doubles. Right. Big needed for Ivanovic here, because you know Williams is going to make a big effort.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Players are ready. Thank you.
After she broke in the last set, she lost 7 of the next 8 points. That's far better, obviously.
A little spring in her step after that. Couldn't have gone better.
I wonder if Serena's ever been out-winnered like that, 13-1.
That's
I was trying to think of the right word. Winnered probably is not in the Oxford
Well,
dictionary.
You just made it up. Well, I never.
Cold sealer. 15.
Very big point coming up now.
40-30.
Second service game in a row that Ivanovic has been pegged back from 40 love to 40-30. She hung on last time. Just has to hang on this time and hold this service game. It's a line ball. Well, challenging, but seemed to skid through to me. Oh, no. Well. What a good challenge by Ivanovic, because it enables her to hold.
Ivanovic leads 4 games to 2.
And now then, how does Williams respond to this?
Well, extraordinary. I was with you, Dave. I thought that was going to be off the line. Squeezed out of that game.
Our excuse is that it's at the far end from us, of course.
It's just such a beautiful serving action.
The rest of her game is crumbling a little. She served 2 aces in the last game, but still lost a serve. Two points for the double break, and 2 points to win 5 games in a set from Williams for the very first time.
But you still feel that Anna actually needs to break again. She wants to win this set.
Two big serves come in from Williams. Neither of them come back. The 2 break points are saved in an instant.
And actually, Serena hasn't got that upset with herself. In fact, she looks even a little subdued today.
Into double figures in terms of aces. And 6 of the 10 have been in this set. That one only 155 Ks, but so much spin on it.
Well, I didn't expect that at this time. Usually so secure on her second serve.
So first double fault of the set. Anna's came in the first set.
Advantage, Williams.
Well, Serena just unleashing a little bit of the emotion that must be in turmoil inside her at this moment.
That forehand got away from Ivanovic. Williams holds. It was a great opportunity for the double break.
You the manager?
Yes, hello.
Hi. When I'm on the internet, this keeps happening.
It seems like you're downloading too much data. In future, try this.
My face.
Is there anything smaller you could watch?
I don't want smaller, I want bigger. I want helicopters shot down by police cars. People on the verge of mass destruction, saving people's lives on a daily basis. Does that sound small to you?
You could try Sky Broadband. It's totally unlimited. As am I.
Come on.
Demand more from your broadband. Switch now and get 12 months half price, totally unlimited Sky Broadband. Sky. Believe in better.
Was all this legal? Absolutely not.
The Wolf of Wall Street, in cinemas now.
Normally at the end of a tennis match you can look back and say, well, that was the decisive moment, and I'm just feeling at the moment, I wonder if those 2 break points were decisive.
Well, you just get, the feeling that that was a huge chance for Anna to get the double break up and almost feel a little bit better about coming out and serving for the second set. But now, 4-3. Definitely a more subdued Serena that we're seeing today.
Again, the serve in the body. And Serena trying desperately to get out the way of it.
Yes, we could hear the exclamation from Serena.
She normally refers to her God in rather more reverential terms. About Jehovah's Witness, of course, Serena and her sister Venus. That's nice. The old V tactic. Open up the court with the serve, head into the space. A first ace of the match for Ivanovic, and it's a first for her. The first time she's won 5 games in a set from Williams.
That was a great game. Kept so calm, that was the thing. There's no kind of hurried shot to quickly snatch a winner.
Well, good get off the net cord, but Serena so off balance.
Well, she's not getting herself out of the way of the ball on a lot of occasions.
Love 15.
Neil Harmon's tweeted that Serena didn't practice yesterday, and we're hearing, you know, all this about her back. So maybe that's why she's a little sluggish at times.
Neil Harmon, of course, the tennis correspondent of the Times. Nope.
Sometimes it's quite nice when your opponent comes charging. You can just have a swing at the ball. But it was a slight mishit, I think, from Ivanovic. To the bottom of the frame.
Perfect.
Cool, calm and composed.
15, 13.
It's on to the line, and it's 2 set points for Ivanovic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that wide serve's working very nicely for Serena today.
13, 14. Yes.
It's usually, you know, if Serena goes behind in a set, you hear her But we have heard nothing from her today, and just a small little fist pump after that ace.
Her 11th to save the second set point. Going down 15-40, 3 first serves in. The mark of a champion.
It's amazing. I think every single time Serena's hit the net, it's helped Ivanovic just regroup and win the point. Incredible. The ball just holds up perfectly for her.
Advantage, Ivanovic.
Amazing. We've seen a few hurried shots from Ivanovic, but this was a very awkward swing from Williams.
Third set point then. And no first serve to the rescue this time. Look how far up the court Ivanovic is. She's got the set. Her first set against Williams. And now we have a match on our hands. After an hour and 26 minutes, 1 set all.
In your favourite stuff on the go. Ultra-fast Vodafone 4G. The only 4G with Spotify Premium or Sky Sports Mobile included.
The Wolf of Wall Street, they call me. Look.
Your hair looks good.
In cinemas now.
Discover new music on the go with Vodafone 4G. The only 4G with Spotify Premium included.
Again, watching some highlights of that second set just before we hear from Joe. We bring you right up to date with that doubles match involving Britain's Dominic Inglot and Treyat Hui from the Philippines against Bapana and Qureshi from India and Pakistan. Remember, Hui and Inglot won the first set 6-4. They've just started a second set tie-break, playing for a place in the quarterfinals of the men's doubles. Joe, your thoughts now?
Well, yeah, just amazing that the way that Anna was so confident in that last point, absolutely knew what she wanted to do and followed it through. We are seeing a new confidence about her.
Players are ready. Thank you. 3 serve. 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 3 serve
First set, obviously, that Williams is conceded in the championships. Ivanovic immediately challenging.
Oh, that's bad not to see that from the lines person.
It is not good at all. Only a second double fault. Quickly tell you that on the Hisense Arena, David Ferrer's broken back now against Florian Mayer. 4-all in the first set.
Serena is really out of sorts. There's just not that energy that you think you'd be feeling from her in this situation. Yeah, and looks over again to her supporters, shrugging her shoulders, almost as though she's expecting an answer from them. Serena was not up to that ball.
First game, final set.
Really talking to herself. She goes around the net, down the other end. Not used to being in this position.
Certainly not. Down in the final set of a match.
And of course, when she wins the first set of a match, Serena, she almost always wins the match. It was only last year, of course, she won the first set against Sloane Stephens here and lost the match.
And against Lisicki in Wimbledon. That forehand down the line is reaping a rich harvest of points at the moment for Ivanovic.
Well, she looks like she's really enjoying herself at the moment. Well, suddenly we're hearing Serena for the very first time in the match. Not that it did her much good in that point.
So many times today she's looked off balance when hitting the ball. Unusual. Wow. And understandably, Ivanovic just growing in confidence. The winners coming from her. 31 winners from Ivanovic. And that's 12 more than Williams. And that just doesn't happen. 3 break points to make it 4 games in a row. Extraordinary. A break of serve to love. It's 7 straight points for Ivanovic. Her group on their feet as well they might be. The one thing Anna has got now, Joe, is not to start even contemplating winning this match.
I was going to say, they should just sit down and be calm and just as though it's a normal part of the match. You don't want to get too excited now, but it must be so exciting for her. Wow. Well, I think you could say that was letting out a bit of frustration. Just made the crowd buzzy. I mean, Serena isn't often in a position where she's being out-hit, and it must be a very strange feeling for her.
Through the kitchen sink into that forehand, and it came back. Let me quickly tell you that Dominic Inglot and Thread Hoey have won. They're into the quarterfinals of the men's doubles. They've beaten the higher-ranked Papana and Qureshi 6-4, 7-6, won the tiebreak 7 points to 1.
Well, at the moment, Serena's trying to turn it on. She's being a bit sharper. She's trying to hit the ball harder. She's being louder. But it's still not happening.
Yes. Commitment total, even if the form isn't, even if the fitness isn't, if these suggestions of a back problem are correct. Oof. Never got above head height, that ball toss. But it's another error for Williams. It's now 5 games in a row for Anna Ivanovic. And is it going to happen to Williams all over again in Melbourne?
Watching every move, getting all the gossip. The Eurosport team with Mats Verlander, ace player turned ace analyst, and our man on the inside in Melbourne. Great tennis. Game, set, and Mats every night on British Eurosport.
Congratulations. Kia, the power to surprise.
You'll love how easy we make it to get those hard-to-get tickets for magical nights out. Just part of the rock and roll service we deliver daily. American Express.
All right, Pigeon Eye, what's Paddy's latest offer? Money back on pre-match bets if your player wins the first set but loses. Bet on the Australian Open with Paddy Power.
Let's confirm that win for Dominic Inglot and Trad Hoey. Into the quarterfinals, they'll play either the Bryan twins or the American-South African partnership of Buterak and Klaassen. Right. How will Serena Williams respond to being 3-love down, final set?
Yes, well, for a start, Dave, she's tied her hair up at the back. So now she means business.
Joe, only a lady could have spotted that.
But all eyes down her end, because you do expect her to react in some positive way to try and get herself going. Really taking her time coming up for this first serve. You imagine the thoughts that are going through her head at the moment.
That's got to be way over the 20 seconds.
Well, she's trying to force herself into a different mood almost. Never more dangerous though, Serena, when she's sort of been backed into a corner.
It's 30 seconds since the last point. Holds to love.
Ivanovic, 3 games to 1.
Will one break a serve be enough? Can such an emotional person as Anna Ivanovic keep calm when she needs to?
Well, they're all good questions, aren't they, Dave? We'll watch with interest.
Oh, that's ridiculous, because that was going wide until the net intervened.
Well, that's just the most amazing record I've ever seen.
It's going well wide.
Yep.
I think it might have actually hit the trembler device, which is there, and it just diverted it back into play. Wow.
Astonishing. Well, she's up the power, up the noise. There's Anna down the other end that's just taking it all in a stride at the moment.
If that had dribbled over.
Yeah. Very tentative, actually, from Williams. Couldn't hit off the slice.
Yeah, Coach Kontic taking a sip of water. I bet the mouth is a little dry at the moment.
solid. Even though Serena's trying to hit the ball harder, she's not really directing it very well at the moment.
She's made that time and time again. It was a deeper return. It wasn't easy. It's only one break, but 4-1 is a commanding situation to be in the final set.
Ivanovic leads 4 games to 1.
What's that smell?
Is that perfume I got you for your birthday?
Dusky lady.
You don't wear it?
Like getting your money's worth? Try the £1.9 sweet chili mayo chicken or the $1.49 chicken BLC. New to the Saver menu.
Space for 7. Top Gear Magazine's Family Car of the Year. The new Citroën Grand and C4 Picasso.
Citroën, créative technologie.
There's a real buzz around this place now. Only lost 4 matches all year, Serena Williams. But she's under real threat now. 1-4, final set against an inspired and surprisingly calm Ivanovic.
But I think with her newfound confidence that Anna's relishing being in this situation now, instead of being scared of it, she wants to go after it.
12 aces for Williams. Without those, she really would be in trouble. .171, 106 miles an hour. Love game for Williams. And at this stage, that's significant because Ivanovic has got to serve again almost immediately, having done so last time.
Come round very quickly. I mean, she kept trying to take the return on as she has been doing. That's why she's had as many breaks as she's got this match against Serena. She's got to keep trying it. But here we go. Every service game is so important at the moment.
Yeah, all she's got to do is hold 2 serves. She's in the quarters. Dead simple, isn't it? He thinks not.
Serena is trying to bully this match now. She's making, you know, the noises for it, the moves for it. But as you said, Dave, Anna is so calm.
And also what I like about her there, she wins a point, no celebration, no clenched fist, no look at the box. That point one, let's get on with the next one.
Well, I never. 3 mistakes in a row. 40 low.
It's a love game for Anna Ivanovic. She is 1 game away from the biggest upset of the championship so far. Just before we hear from Joe, a good gutsy win for Isabel Wallace of Great Britain in the junior girls. She's beaten a seeded Australian, Priscilla Hon, 6-3, 5-7, 12-10. I wonder what Mum's thinking.
Dragana trying to keep calm as well. I think that's what they need to be doing at the moment. Don't get overexcited.
What an upset, what a win! Anna Ivanovic has found the form that took her to #1 in the world 6 years ago. The overwhelming favourite is out, and every single woman left in the draw will be thinking, I can win this now.
Absolutely amazing. Wow. It's a lucky person there. Didn't she keep cool at the end? Serena, obviously, not at her best today. A little sluggish at times, and tried to up it. Couldn't quite find it, but saying that, Anna Ivanovic soaked up the pressure, and it's just played brilliantly.
Folks, we're going to hear from another exceedingly excited Anna Ivanovic in just a moment or two. Following that, there'll be a brief little...
What a moment for her.
Singles action.
In a way, I think perhaps even exceeding the French Open, because she was almost expected to do well at that stage, and now not exactly been out in the wilderness for the last 6 years, but she's gone down so much, and to get back to this sort of form and this sort of position. And she will play, of course, either Eugenie Bouchard or Casey Delacroix. And people will be thinking, oh, maybe it's a second major coming. Todd Woodbridge will ask the questions.
Well, congratulations,
No,
Anna.
that's not Todd.
Beating Serena Williams, you must feel on top of the world. How does it feel up there?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, honestly, when I stepped on the court, I just went to play the best I could, and you know, I just played really well, and you guys been amazing. So thank you. I'm so thrilled.
You guys have played each other before today 4 times. You'd never won a set. To win those last 2 sets, you said to Renee Stubbs, after you'd won against Sam, you had to play the best tennis of your life. Were they as good at 2 sets as you've put together?
Yeah, you know, it was very consistent, and I was very happy about that. It's not easy, you know, playing such a champion, and like you said, I never beaten her before, but, you know, she is also just a human, and I know she has a lot of pressure too, and, you know, I just really went out there, swing at the ball, and I did that really well.
Give me a guess at how many times you think Serena has won the first set in a major and then lost in her career.
You know, these are the tactics that I always hear you guys commentate in a room, but I never think about that. I don't think players think so. I have no idea.
Well, she doesn't often lose the first set. In fact, you're just the 6th time that Serena has been beaten after winning the first. So it was a monumental effort. Now, it gets a little difficult here because we love Casey Delacroix. She's playing Eugenie Bouchard. We love you. We hope Casey wins. It's going to be interesting.
There was a lot of calculations there. No, I mean, Casey's playing amazing tennis too, and, you know, I really hope she does well. And Evgenia Bouchard, she's just someone I played before. I lost to her in Wimbledon. She's young, and we're going to see plenty of her in the future, so I hope it's going to be a good match tonight.
Will you watch?
I think so.
So how do you spend the afternoon now? Do you go and see a movie, relax, ice baths, maybe not?
Yeah, ice bath, some recovery, you know, I have to do a few things around the grounds, but, you know, I'm going to watch that match and hopefully have a nice dinner with my family.
Well, it was wonderful to see you play so well today. You're much loved here.
Thank you so much.
Ivanovic into the quarterfinals here at the Open.
Yeah, an amazing effort. In particular, to my mind, Joe, not just the tennis, but the control of her emotions.
Well, she's in a very good place at the moment, and you know, I think with the team around her and the way they've worked at everything, and it's just all coming together. And you know, it's been a few years, hasn't it? And she's never given up, Anna. And she's gone through the demons. She really has, and out hitting Serena by quite a way with the winners.
Yeah, more winners, fewer unforced errors. And she had so many more break points. I mean, 14 break points she had. Only 3 that Serena had. So 91 points. So she won 12 more points, 3 straight games. Yeah, there's no fluke about that win. No fluke at all.
Not at all. Some fantastic tennis, and she had a plan, and she stuck to it, even though she lost that first set. And you know, she's got terrific talent, Ivanovic, and can time the ball, and that really helped her out in phases of the match when Serena was coming blasting back at her.
As we look at the highlights, let me tell you that Florian Mayer won the first set against David Ferrer on a tiebreak. But Ferrer is 2-love up in the second set. We've mentioned Isabel Wallace with that fine win, 12-10 in the final set for Britain in the junior girls. I can tell you that Katie Bolter, the 9th seed, also from Great Britain, is a set up in her match and 1-love up in the second set on serve. But the highlights, the headlines today, whatever else happens, are going to belong to Anna Ivanovic. She has beaten Serena Williams. Still to come, we should get a further interview with Anna, and of course to come up next it will be Fabio Fognini against Novak Djokovic. Chris Bradnam will be taking my place for that one.
Only snooker royalty get an invitation to the Palace. So don't miss the top 16 players in the world battle it out for the prestigious Masters crown. The Masters from Alexandra Palace. Today, 1:30 p.m, live on British Eurosport 2 HD.
It's just like looking for a needle in a haystack, searching for a moonbeam in the blue. Still I've got to find you. It's just like looking for a needle in a haystack. Still I'll follow every little clue, for I've got to find you.
So coming up next is Fabio Fognini against Novak Djokovic. Of course, 3 times a champion in a row here. Novak Djokovic. He's actually looking to avoid becoming the first defending champion for the quarterfinals here to lose since 1988. It's inconceivable, isn't it? Well, it was for Serena.
Oh, this place still buzzing after that. I don't think anybody predicted that win today.
Yeah, amazing. So Jonathan will just fill in now until we come back live for Fognini against Djokovic.
Well, then by just watching that incredibly emotional moment that we witnessed live just moments ago when Ana Ivanovic was victorious against Serena Williams. 4-6, 6-3, 6-3 in 116 minutes. Her first time into the Australian Open quarters since 2008 when she finished as the runner-up. It's her first Grand Slam quarter since the US Open in 2012. An elated family celebrating on the sidelines. Let's hear what she had to say.
Well, Anna, congratulations. An amazing match.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Obviously, when I went to the court, I just tried to take confidence from the other matches I played, and I did that really well today. She's always very tough to play, but, I just tried to play my game, to focus on my things, and I was very pleased with the result, obviously.
Yeah, you played her 4 times before, and you hadn't won a set, and suddenly you came out, and you were so aggressive from the beginning, and in your match against Samantha Stosur. Is this the new Ana Ivanovic we're seeing?
Yeah, it's something I really worked hard in the off-season, and I knew I had to step up against her, because if you give her chances, she's going to take them. And I was a little bit frustrated that I didn't use some opportunities I had early in the first set, but, I was just, a little bit tentative when I had to step up and made few errors, but really happy to stay with it at the end.
Yeah, of course, you won Auckland as well, and it's the first tournament you won in 2 years, and now beating Serena here. I mean, you must be so excited.
I am very excited. I really have a good team around me. Good support, they believe in me, and even when I'm down, they are up, and it's a process, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm seeing results, so it's obviously very good.
All right, it was great to watch. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thanks, Matt.
Here we go, we're walking on our...
So Ana Ivanovic will play against the winner of the match between Katie Delacqua and Eugenie Bouchard, which will take place a little later on today. But now we have Fabio Fognini up against Novak Djokovic on the Rod Laver Arena. Fognini, who had a wonderful season last year that included his first ever title on the ATP Tour. That came in Stuttgart. Also has played against Novak Djokovic on no fewer than 6 occasions. And he has won just 2 sets on those meetings. So many people here will be sitting there thinking, well, not likely to be much of a contest, but I'm sure that there were plenty of people who took their seats in the Rod Laver Arena a couple of hours ago thinking that it wasn't going to be much of a contest between Ana Ivanovic and Serena Williams, and how wrong they were proved to be. Ivanovic coming back from a set down as well, and as we heard on court, just 6 times in Serena's career where she's lost, or won the first set I should say, and lost the match. So Novak Djokovic with a little bit of added pressure as the top seed as a consequence. Fabio Fognini, he has absolutely nothing to lose when he walks out on court here, and he will know that. These two playing for a place in the quarterfinals. The winner of this one will play against the winner of the match between Stan Wawrinka and Tommy Robredo, which will be taking place later on today. And I'm sure many of you will be surprised to learn that Wawrinka has won just one of their 7 meetings. So the crowd up onto their feet to welcome Novak Djokovic onto the court. And this is the match we'll be concentrating on Eurosport International. Over on Eurosport 2, they are focusing in on the match on Hisense Arena between Florian Mayer and David Ferrer. Mayer took the opening set. It was a break-up in the opening set. Ferrer broke back. It went to a breaker, which Mayer dominated. David Ferrer has dominated the early exchanges in set number 2 so far. A double break-up already for the Spaniard. But it is Fognini against Djokovic that we are going to concentrate on, and I'll hand over to Chris Brown.
Jonathan, thank you very much. Yes, I'm sitting alongside 3 times former champion Mats Wilander, who's just had a quick interview with Anna Ivanovic. Before we get to this, Mats, your reaction to a stunning win.
Well, Anna Ivanovic is playing some great tennis. I really like the way she took it to Serena. She's going for her shots, but also playing a couple of nice slice backhands in the middle of rallies. And I mean, the toss is still sort of all over the place in the serve, but she managed to come up with big serves at the right moment, and wasn't double faulting, and her forehand is as good as it was when she was #1 in the world, and I think her backhand is better. So it's a complete new Anna Ivanovic that we see right now.
Otherwise, everything is the same. Fabio, want to choose?
Bernardes of Brazil.
Yep.
On the chair. A hot shot with the spin of the coin. A thrill for all of them.
Okay, picture with them.
Pictures now. That'll be on the mantelpiece before you know it.
Yeah, this way.
And as David Mercer was saying at the end of the commentary, every woman left in the drawer in the locker room thinks, could be me. It's like the lottery.
Well, that's. I mean, when you're around the tennis world, from the media and players, I mean, you don't want to see anyone lose, but you do sort of want to see the favorites lose, because then the drawer is open, and we can see, well, maybe Azarenka can win it 3 times in a row, which will be fun. But with Serena in it, you just think that it's always up to her. So it's good for the tournament in many ways, but also losing the best player in the world is never really good for the sport, I suppose.
Amazing contrast in the conditions. We now have a brilliant summer's day by UK standards. It's cool in Melbourne, that's for sure, compared to Tuesday to Friday. And Mr. Elastic is on the court, Novak Djokovic. Just the most flexible tennis player, surely, of all time. He's up against Fabio Fognini. Had a terrific year last year, won a title. He's starting to make a few people think he could be on the verge of something a little special. He's never beaten a top 5 player, but there are the 2 titles last year from 3 finals. Semis on the clay in Monte Carlo, and he's becoming a regular feature at the back end of tournaments, Matt. Obviously, it's still a different step up playing Grand Slam tennis, but he's strong, he's fit, and he's got a lot of shots.
He's got some serious firepower, and it doesn't look like he's going to hit the ball hard, because he's got pretty short swings, but somehow he generates a lot of power. He's got a good serve when he decides to have a good serve, so to speak, because if anything, his weakness is obviously the instability in his mind as a tennis player. But yeah, he's a very dangerous opponent.
And in terms of their routes through for Fognini, he beat Alex Bogomolov Jr. of Russia first round. He retired after 2 sets down. The Russian with a shoulder injury, and then he beat Niemanen in 4 sets, Querrey in 3 sets. That was impressive. So he comes in, plenty of gas left in the tank. Let's face it, you need it against these very best players in the world. And of course, Djokovic, well, he's had a tie-break set and a 7-5 set against Istomin, but he's come through pretty much unscathed and yet to concede a set. Have you assessed his form so far in your mind?
Yeah, I think he's playing. I mean, he is the best player most probably in the world on this surface and on this court. Not sure he's playing as well yet as he needs to win the tournament. But again, he's such a machine these days. He's just trying to go through the tournament as long as he can without losing a set, I think.
And of course, if he wins a fourth in a row, it'll be the first man in the Open era and just the second man ever to win 4 consecutive Australian titles. Only Roy Emerson has won 4 or more titles in a row when he won 5 straight from 63 to 67. So it must feel like a home from home. And whatever happens, however deep he probably feels he needs to go to turn it around, he obviously thinks, especially when you think of the final 2 years ago, that whatever it takes, he can do it.
Oh, 100%. So full of confidence when you feel as comfortable as he does on a particular court. You're going to come back and feel like you can win the tournament every year that he decides to come back and play. Even after we have sort of trying to explain to these players that no, you can't win anymore, he's still going to feel like he can win. And Roger Federer is the same way. He still thinks he can win, even though no. Some of us might think that it's going to be a problem, but he believes he can, especially at Wimbledon, for example. Nadal at the French, Djokovic here.
I mean, they're the head-to-heads on the full tour main draws, but they're the same age, and I guess Fognini, he's got to have a good memory, because in 2006 on the qualifying in Rome on the clay, he actually beat Djokovic 6-3 in the third. So I hope he's got a tape of that, and he's played it continuously since he won his third round, because he hasn't had a lot of joy since. He went once in a major before. That was at the French 2011 in the quarterfinals, and he had to give a walkover to Novak amid pretty controversial times. The new cramping rule had come in. He was playing Albert Montañez of Spain in the 4th round, and he, by everything that you could see, was suffering from cramps, Fognini, which meant you could not have a treatment until he reached a change of ends, but he cited it as a thigh injury. It caused a big stir at the time. He won the match because he got the treatment. Montañez must have felt ripped off if it was cramps, allegedly. I quickly put in there before I get sued from here to Kingdom Come. But he then couldn't take to the court in the next round, and it was quite a talking point at the time. We shall see. Of course, Djokovic has had his problems in his career, retiring from majors with a blister. It's inconceivable now.
Yeah, he's really turned the corner, Novak Djokovic, in the last 3 or 4 years when it comes to the mental part.
7 titles from 9 finals last year. Just shows you what Nadal did last year to finish the world at #1. Extraordinary. Finished the year with more than $12 million in prize money, Djokovic. It was his 3rd straight year he'd earned over $12 million. So quarterfinals up for grabs, the remaining 4th rounds in the bottom half of the draw. The winner of this plays Wawrinka or Robredo. Like the war paint?
No, yes, on him. I just like him. His. I don't necessarily like his demeanor on the court, but it's funny, and he seems to enjoy himself so much. And I mean, between Gael Monfils and him, I don't think you have. I mean, you have 2 players that just enjoy being out there.
He's got an amazing walk in between points, isn't he? It's more like a strut, a slow strut. He's going to need all of that. Taking on the king of Melbourne the last few years in Novak Djokovic.
First set, Novak Djokovic.
Who will serve first.
Ready. Black. Good long.
Oh. He's hit the line on the first point and then a scorcher on the second. He's a very upright player, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't really bother with putting his feet in the proper position. Doesn't bother with much, except just very wristy on both sides.
That's a pretty impressive opening game. Wow. In a minute.
It's just, it amazes me when Novak Djokovic and I think Roger Federer more than any other player, they come out and they can just play at their very, very best from the first point in a match. And they're actually trying to do that sometimes. They're not trying to get the feel for the court or the ball that day. They just go full out. And when you see Rafael Nadal or Andy Murray, they're always sort of searching a little bit in the beginning, and that's, they're willing and they're looking to search. But Djokovic just comes out and very, very impressive. The confidence level.
He can get very fiery. Can Fognini. He certainly did against Neiman in the second round at times. There was a lot going on in that match between them. He doesn't want a point yet. Such a contrast, as you say, with the planting of the foot between these two. Looks like he's still on the practice court and Djokovic is on the match court.
Oh, that's Fognini for you.
Keeps fiddling with the tape on his right hand. Well, it's the most casual drop shot you'll ever see. What a return. We saw him slipping and sliding a lot at the start of the tournament last year.
Obviously, very streaky Fabio Fognini. Oh. How casual is that?
It's unreal, isn't it?
He is so fun.
Love 40 to juice. Well, they're the shots that you talked about. With a smile afterwards. Good hold. 5 points in a row.
Yeah, and 6 winners out of 10 points. And both of these guys would be considered amongst the quickest players on tour. Fognini is extremely quick. Just doesn't look like he's trying to be.
Extraordinary how much the Djokovic serve has improved in the last, what, 18 months? 2 years?
It's a real weapon.
Another feather floating to the court. Another rehearsal for Murray. Would it be a tough serve to read, do you think, Djokovic is necessarily?
I think it is these days because it's so simple. He simplified it so much. And not much going on because his right foot stays back. Just sort of like the Federer serve. I think the toss is very consistent, and if the toss is consistent, it's hard to know where he's going.
Wilander on wheels, technically for the viewers, Mats. What do you think Djokovic has changed with the serve?
Well, I think the main change is that his right elbow is much higher. Once he gets it to bend, he gets it up to nearly as high as his shoulder. And it used to be much lower down, nearly in the middle of his waist, and therefore he gets easy power. Both arms are high up.
2-love games for Djokovic on serve and a 2-1 lead.
Why this watch?
Great sport happens here this winter. Loads of unmissable top-pick Barclays Premier League matches from now until the end of the season. UEFA Europa League, more European leagues than anyone else. All the live Aviva Premiership Rugby, WTA Tennis, and the FA Cup with Budweiser. Giant killing clashes all the way to Wembley. £12 a month for Sky TV customers, or free with BT Broadband.
Mats, you were delighting the crowds this morning. Former legend out on court. I'm sure High Sense was packed to the rafters at 11 o'clock. Did you enjoy it, first of all?
Yeah, and we enjoyed it. But both Pat Cash and I, we left the court and we got into the golf cart because of course it's too far to walk over to High Sense Arena, even though you run a couple of miles during a match. And we both... What was the score in that match again? Who won
Champions tie-break.
Yeah, who won that match?
Well, I'm not going to say.
No, I say me and Pat Cash did not know who won the match at the end.
Really? Yeah, that much fun.
That much fun.
Brilliant. But having played, what's your opinion of playing conditions?
It's quite quick, I have to say. And when they get new balls in their hands, it's extremely quick. And that's serves that are coming at between 165 and 180 kilometers an hour. And of course, everything else is much slower than what these guys produce. And it's very quick. The balls really skid through the court. By the time you've played 5 or 6 games with the tennis balls, they fluff up a little bit, but I can't not imagine what the conditions were, how quick it was in the middle of this week, middle of the first week.
Yeah. Just wide. So in other words, when they relay the courts and they're painting them, they put less sand in with the final paint mix to speed them up a bit?
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say, and that the practice court we practiced on this morning is even quicker than that too.
Wow.
So that's quite a big difference. But Rafa Nadal says it's really quick, although last night it didn't look like it.
And the reason why the balls don't rough up as quick, because that sort of rough surface isn't slowing them down over 7 games.
He was also saying, though, last night, after I interviewed him after the match, actually off camera, he said that he loves the tennis balls. Not when it was hot, but now.
Have we found out yet which ball it is? Is it the US Open ball?
It's definitely not the US Open ball. I think it's a quicker ball than the one at the US Open. And I only bring up Nadal and him liking tennis balls because he's the one that's the most affected by different tennis balls, because he spins the ball more than any other player. Novak Djokovic would have no problems playing with pretty much any kind of tennis ball because he hits the ball flat.
There's the breakthrough for Djokovic. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, isn't it, when you get a flat hitter playing Nadal, as to who copes best.
Yeah, and I think he'd be able to cope with it very well in this tournament. He did against Gael Monfils, but even against even higher quality opponent.
Getting so upright, Fognini. Amazing. I don't think he'd throw many fish back if he was a fisherman, would he? Nice. Haven't seen that one very often from Djokovic, have we?
Not as a first serve. That's it's a brilliant first serve. But again, that's a sign that the tennis balls really take spin.
Wow. He still hasn't dropped a point on serve. 4-1.
Is ready to serve you with the power to surprise.
Time. I think they broke the mold when Fognini arrived, didn't they, Matt?
Yeah, they did. But remember the match he played at the French Open against Gael Monfils?
Yes.
When it was so dark that they turned on the lights in the stairwells going up into the stands, and that's really when he became. I think he presented himself as a serious tennis player, And they sort of won me over a little bit there. I'm not a big fan of too casual a body language when you're playing. I think you need to be better for the sport if you show, even though you are trying, if it looks like you're trying to. But as a talent and as entertainment, I must say Fabio Fognini is up there for me.
Well, he's already returning some of Fognini's best serves right into the corners. He's reading it so well, Djokovic. The last two meetings, he's only dropped 9 games. On the line. Is it?
I think it skidded through the line. Yeah, it did.
It's very smart, Novak, isn't he? That zip's virtually done right up to the top. Always is. Free hitting.
Yeah, it's a little easier to do that from the side that Djokovic is on. He's playing into pretty serious wind right now. Wind is with Fabio Fognini.
Boy, is he reading the serve well. When you hear the serve being hit, split second later the return. Another break point.
Wow.
Advantage Djokovic.
Split step a fraction late. There's no way back.
Wow. Yeah, you read my mind there, Chris, with the footwork, because Fabio Fognini is a really, really quick human being. But because he's so casual, even in his footwork, he sometimes doesn't get to balls. If he has time to run for them, yes, but he's not really that structured in his footwork. A lot of players would get to more balls than him because they're more meticulous.
Yeah.
And he would be one, Novak Djokovic, because he's quick as well.
Amazing walk. Talking of the feet. It's interesting because I just looked at his left foot there. It doesn't step, turn, shift. They so often get the foot fault wrong in Australia. There's Boris Becker, our first glimpse of him. Stefan Edberg had a nightmare with foot faults in the Australian Open. Kooyong. Tony Pickard his coach demanded that the line judge came to the press conference after a match once to explain the foot fault rule, and the lines judge got it completely wrong.
What do they think you're not allowed to jump into the court at all before you serve? Or?
Back then, yeah, I think because he was a serve and volleyer, obviously, it was all to do with his motion going forwards and whether his body was leaning over the line or something. I don't know. It's something that was crazy, but they got it wrong. His left foot is solid. Doesn't move at all.
No, there's really no way he can foot fault unless he stands on the line. Which, when it comes to Fognini, there is a possibility. But there really shouldn't be.
Yeah. Fognini is coached by Jose Perlas. Experienced man. He's coached a few in his time. I'll ask you to think about, Mats, what the Boris Becker factor is for Djokovic. How's he going to help him?
Well, I think it's just great to have somebody in your corner that's won as many majors as you and tells you, wow, you played well today. That's I mean, it's nice to hear it from your old coach as well, but to actually have somebody like that say it, I think that would be a huge confidence boost, first of all. And I think at the same time, have somebody in your corner that, again, that maybe is not that impressed with everything you do, because he needs to get to 12, 13 majors before he's done. Novak Djokovic, he's that good, and he's got a lot of work to do to get there. And one thing he needs to improve on is body language and mindset, and he didn't do well in the Wimbledon final and the US Open finals of last year because of that. And that's most probably the biggest improvement still in Novak Djokovic's game. If you compare to 4 or 5 years ago, of course, together with the forehand and the serve too, but the body language is much better, but it's not nowhere close as good as Rafael Nadal's.
I often think Rafa's got such amazing body language because he just seems so humble. I think the two go together. You know, arrogance never gets in the way. Disappointment. I don't know what it is. It's just extraordinary what he does, Nadal.
Mm.
In the white shirt, Perlas. A very upright stance. Must lose feel, surely. Djokovic 5-2 in this opening set. And talking of coaches, maybe Fognini in his lifetime has had coaches talking to him maybe about stepping in more and bending a bit more and getting through the ball. But he is what he is. Yeah, I'm not sure if the coaches they most probably tried, but I'm sure now it's more about his mental state and the fact that it does look like he's not trying sometimes, and I think sometimes he isn't trying as hard as some of the other players. But I think he needs to maybe, if he's going to get higher than 16, which is where he's ranked now, which I'm assuming is the highest rank he's ever had. If he's going to get a break into a top 10, that's one area that needs to improve a lot is to send more positive signals to your opponent, so they actually think that you're trying really hard. But he's just feeding them with negative energy, sometimes positive for his opponent, of course. Yeah, you're right about the ranking. July last year, first time achieved. Home everywhere for the Serbians, players, with the fans that seem to have colonies everywhere they go. New balls in play. Fognini 2-5, first set. Davis Cup, of course, inspired a nation through all the war-torn years. What that did for not only the nation, but for the players themselves. Djokovic has been well charted on his views. Tipsarevic. And all the others too. I think the other thing that somebody like Boris Becker can bring to Novak is to not tinker too much with technique. But this is your game. Boris had his style, and he just learned how to do it the best way possible. And that way he had his own identity. Stefan Edberg, same thing. So I don't think Stefan is in there tinkering with too much technique, not even in the volleys for Federer. Haven't really seen a change in Andy Murray's technique either. He just hits his forehand a lot harder more often because of Lendl. Oh, the ball really flies off of Fognini's racket sometimes. That was a huge forehand. I think that's one of the reasons why he gets so much power with such short swings, Fognini, is because I think his arm is most probably as relaxed as his walk. So if you tighten up his demeanor on the court, you might actually take away his strength, which is that easy power and that unexpected big shot that sometimes comes. Yes, just the 1 point conceded on serve so far for Djokovic. Serving for the opening set. So measured, it's so methodical. Been great to have been a fly on the wall the first time Boris Becker told Novak Djokovic what he thought his best strengths were. I'm sure Novak was all ears. Looks like Boris has lost a bit of weight as well since he's teamed up with Djokovic. Well, I think Novak put it out there the other day that the day that he can hit with Boris would be a great day.
course, Boris is not because of his shape. It's because of his knees and his ankles that he can't really be on a tennis court anymore, at least at the moment. Yeah, that's got to be what tennis in the future is going to look like more and more. Has to, because they hit the ball so hard, and the players are so far behind the baseline defending sometimes. If you're quick forwards, it's a pretty easy put-away volley often.
So terrific serving from Djokovic, just the 2 points conceded on serve. Boris Becker, happy seat for him. His man is a set ahead after 31 minutes.
Great Britain are back amongst the big boys.
Big names on the big stage as Great Britain are welcomed back to the World Elite by the USA in a sensational first round encounter.
Wow! It's getting better and better from Andy Murray.
And France host Australia.
What a win! What a couple of days!
The Davis Cup starts Friday the 31st of January, live on British Eurosport 2 HD.
Is ready to serve you with the power to surprise.
Kia, the power to surprise.
David Mercer has hot-footed it from a press conference that Serena Williams has just gone through, and as we understand it, what David is saying is that when pressed, because she didn't really want to talk about it and take anything away from the wonderful display which she was quick to praise of Anna Ivanovic, blocked back is a description that affected Serena. She nearly didn't take to the court against Hantakova, but didn't really want to use that at all because she said how well Anna had played, and boy did she. But clearly not 100% fit, Serena.
No, it looked like she was really struggling. Well, she was struggling to hit the backhand into the court, and the backhand is where you really need to be able to bend your back and turn through the shot. But again, yeah, commendable though of Serena to really not mention it at all until somebody dragged it out of her.
If you could have had a couple of minutes with Fognini at the end of that first set, your advice?
Well, maybe a little more consistency in taking the ball early, not laying off the shot as often as he does. But with the kind of style he has, it's really hard to disturb Novak when he's playing like he is today.
Body language you were talking about. Another break point. Well done. So disciplined. I mean, he's hardly missed a ball.
I thought maybe Boris would be standing up after that rally. There's two really good volleys and a good overhead too. Of course, Boris Becker, one of the best overheads of all time.
Look at that reaction to an error.
And that's what needs work. It's the first game of the second set. It's really not a big game. It's a big game, but you can keep it on the inside.
It has to be the best sounding language in the world, Italian.
Of course, Flavia Pennetta had a great win today.
Fabulous performance. So good after her wrist surgery, so much out of the game. It's the sort of language, Italian, isn't it, that Djokovic is complaining again. Even if you don't understand a word, you get the feeling you understand it when you just look at them. Russian, you haven't got a clue. They could be really nice to you and you think they're having a go. Again, upright, so therefore the ball is always coming on to him. And as Matt's been saying, it's so fiery here, the conditions. The ball is so quick. Tough to control for him. It's just a bad matchup, really, this.
Now, you got to really stay onto your shot, stay down, be consistent through the moment of impact. Miss hits also take off a bit.
Loose, maybe inspired by the body language. I always talk about everyone's evil twin. Somehow you've got to keep them asleep.
No. And that's not because he missed the volley. What an unbelievable backhand by Djokovic.
I mean, sometimes the devil inside of you is necessary to inspire something, isn't it?
Oh, I don't mind if he gets angry, Novak. It's just a disappointment after a shot at the wrong time.
Well, he was determined to get the break by hook or by crook, and he's got it. It's like Nadal last night. Every mini battle, everything had to be just so. So, Jonathan, on Eurosport 2, what's happening?
On Eurosport 2, you can follow the other men's match currently taking place at the moment, which is, of course, the match between Meyer and Ferrer. David Ferrer levelled it up at a set apiece, taking a very interesting second set, which included 4 breaks for the Spaniard and 3 for the German, 7-5. Ferrer's already a break up in set number 3, and so he leads by 2 games to 1. So a really intriguing contest currently taking place on Hisense, and you can watch that on Eurosport 2. Here, let's stick with Chris and Mats for Fognini against Djokovic.
Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, it's interesting on the Hisense as it was when Fognini went back to his chair. Dispatching of a racket, still lying on the floor. Fognini went round behind the line judge. It's only a major. It's only the Rod Laver Arena. It's a half smile from Novak.
But that might be also why Novak is slightly... Yeah, can we see Fognini here? And he hit it right back to him, too.
He did.
But it could be because he doesn't want to fall into being too relaxed and watching Fognini, because Fognini has a... And there he goes.
Djokovic.
Yeah, it's important for Djokovic, obviously, to keep up the intensity when his opponent is sort of all over the place. Easy to relax, and then suddenly Fognini starts playing well, because we know he can. Has a very high best ability.
Like the old westerns. He's like a bit of a baddie gunslinger, isn't he? Trouble is, at times he just forgets the gun.
Well, that's not... It's not much you can do against Djokovic when he's hitting the ball like this, but that certainly is not going to be enough for Fognini to do. So we'll be looking for a little bit of a change, a little bit of something.
He's chatting to his box, chatting to himself, chatting to the umpire, getting friendly with the lineswoman. And then that. I mean, it's all eyes on him. It's all smiles. It's the nostalgia of the modern game, I suppose. Trouble is, he's playing Djokovic.
Unbelievable.
who has only got one thing in mind, and that is the serious business of winning a tennis match as comfortably and as effortlessly as possible. 7-3 love, double break lead.
Hurry up, Daddy's coming.
Good day, sir.
Kia, the power to surprise.
Now, how many of you are into PlayStation? Because Mr. Fognini obviously thinks he's involved in that sort of game here. It's tickled Carlos Bernardes. It's tickled everybody that saw it or on the big screen. We'll try and bring it to you if we can, because it's worth watching. This guy is out of the box. It's like Morecambe and Wise. Not that that'll mean much to you, Matt, I don't think. Straight guy and the comedian. It's going to get very quiet in here soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure quiet is going to be enough. There might be... Don't be surprised if you hear a few whistles and boos here soon.
Another love game for Djokovic on serve. He's 21 from 24 behind his first serve. 7 from 7 behind his second. There's a few murmurings, isn't there? They've only been on court for 48 minutes.
But then he has this in him, Fognini. That's what's so frustrating sometimes, watching him at the same time as it is entertaining.
Yeah, see what you mean. For those of you on British Eurosport particularly, Andy Murray plays Stéphane Robert, the lucky loser, this time tomorrow on the Hisense Arena. You'll see it start to finish.
Oh.
33 years old, Robert, a lucky loser. Played a lucky loser in the last round. That's the first time in 40 years two lucky losers playing third round at a slam. Another break point. His 13th.